Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to some more Hollywood and Disney news. Boy, I have a lot to talk about in this video. I was originally going to make some separate videos on this stuff, but there is like so much, going on with Hollywood, and you got with Donald Trump and all that. I kind of want to just kind of talk about that, because as you guys know, Donald Trump won the election and all that, and so you got that, and then you got the whole Disney debacle with Gianna Carano, and then you got Bob Iger here and all that, because they also had, apparently, they had their earnings call for this year, their Q4 24 call. So I've been kind of wanting to talk about that. But anywho, though, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. I don't know if I want to keep saying this in my videos, but I will say it here. If you guys don't like me, listening to me talk about, pop culture and stuff, you guys can go to, watch my reviews or my gameplays instead, and all that. So, because I don't just talk about Disney, I talk about Paramount and all that too, but Disney's kind of the main focus here. There's been a lot of drama going on behind the company, so yeah, I just wanted to kind of say that, but some people might get upset about that, thinking I always talk about Disney, but I talk about other companies too, and I also I actually have not been talking about Hollywood in general much anymore, because I'm kind of just sick of it. But yeah, you guys can go over and watch my other stuff if you want to, because I've actually been working on trying to make other Let's Plays too. So yeah. But anywho, let's go ahead and just get into this for people who are interested in this stuff. So, I was gonna say though, before I actually talk about the Disney stuff, I need to talk about the Trump stuff, because this actually is included in this. And I will say, this video is gonna be kind of longer, because I wanted to do this stuff separate. But I'm actually wanting to kind of just talk about it all in one video, because I feel like it's easier to talking about it separate, because I've been very busy lately with things. So, yeah. But yes, as I was going to say, though, about the whole Donald Trump thing. Donald Trump won the election. He's going to be in office in January, and Hollywood is freaking flipping out. They are flipping out. And I'm not saying everybody, because there has been drama on your opinions and all that with Hollywood, and they shit on you for having your own opinion and all that, and I'm just like, it's just freaking stupid. Basically, it's kind of like social media and all that. Social media, it has done that too. Well, they'll take one side but not the other and all that, and people are just fed up with it. People are fed up with it, But Trump won the election and all that, and personally, I don't really care about the guy, as in general. Well, I mean, not in general. I shouldn't say that, because I feel like Trump could be an interesting guy to go get some coffee or something. I don't know if I would say he's a predator like other people have been saying, but who knows, because again, it's mainstream media and all that's trying to hide, the other side. I told you guys about the whole freaking, I was talking about, when they were trying to get Kamala Harris elected for president, which is why I was thinking she was going to win, because I'm she's gonna win and all that, and people are gonna have to learn that she's actually not going to be, she's not gonna make things better and all that, and I feel like it's gonna be like the Disney situation where Bob Iger is back, but people are starting to realize Bob Iger is the enemy, there's still people out there that think he's doing a good job, which I don't know how, because he's not even freaking hiding it. He's making all these damn sequels and all that. Which I'll be talking about that in a second too, but he's clearly not hiding it, and then, with Kamala Harris, at least they were hiding the stuff, not saying it's okay, but like, I posted a few times on some of the crap she's been saying and all that, and how, like, and I even said some stuff about Trump, like, that I'm like, I don't agree with some of the stuff he said either about, like, handling pandemic, and how he kind of pats himself on the back too much and all that, but with her and all that, she's like flat out blaming, Trump and all that and saying, like, that we're dealing with all this stuff and all that, and I'm just like, I mean, yeah, he didn't handle COVID very well, but you and Joe Biden were not doing anything to make things better, so. Yeah, so I'm just like, it's just basically stupid. That's kind of why I don't get into politics, I'm just like, number one, it makes people, like, salty and trash people. Not always. I mean, there's people who vote and all that, and don't trash people for having their opinion. But on the other hand, it's just like, they also hide, crap from you, like I told you about. That I was pointing out stuff she said, and then YouTube would take down my comments and all that. They do this on Facebook too and all that, and I'm just freaking sick of it. Yeah, YouTube honestly is in a whole different place and all that, and I don't care. I'm gonna flat out say it. They have got a lot of problems, and they've actually shut down some of my comments on my older videos. Like, I was talking about the mask and all that, and my opinion and all that, and they shut my comment down. And it turns out a lot of people are now saying the mask that you were wearing to prevent COVID were not working very well, because they weren't, because the mask and all that were like, they basically were like, like they were making you wear a mask and all that. I'm just like, it's not working, because the germs can still get on your body and all that, and they can go inside other parts of your body. The reason why people wear masks, like people who are surgeons and dentals and all that, is because they're like getting in people's faces and all that, and it does help there. I'm not saying it doesn't help you prevent from getting germs, but there are a lot of germs from your mouth, and all that. And and plus when you're doing surgery, you're getting people's organs and all that. So I totally I totally disagreed with the whole wearing mask thing. That was actually under Trump when they did that. Now I don't know if he was involved with that part or not, but I will say he did kind of let that happen too and all that. And I'm just like, again, that's the thing though. It's just like if you point out specific stuff the mainstream media doesn't want you to do, and it just sets everybody off, and it makes them leave the platform. There are people leaving Facebook, YouTube, and all that because of how bad it's gotten. I have not left because I have a feeling things are basically going to get, like, I feel like it's gonna get bad before it gets better. But I have a feeling they're gonna be forced to, like, course correct or something, otherwise things are gonna get bad. Because they're not gonna make any money. Well, either that or they'll shut down, but most of the time, companies will course correct, and like for Disney and all that, I have a feeling they're fixing some stuff, but I doubt they're gonna completely course correct. And I can say that about a lot of social media platforms, but with Disney, I feel like at this point they're the rare exception where I feel like they've gotten so bad. I don't know if they're gonna get better, because they're talking about also getting a new CEO in there and all that. I don't know if that's gonna fix it. I think they might be too far gone. With YouTube and Facebook, I think they still have a chance to get better. But with Disney, I think they've gotten, like, the problematic people have gotten too much power and all that. So I don't know, but I'm going to talk more about that in a second. I was talking about the whole Donald Trump thing because what's happening is that apparently I've heard people in Hollywood are leaving the country and all that. Basically, they're throwing a fit because they lost and are leaving the country. And some people in Hollywood may actually believe that, but a lot of them are just throwing a fit because they lost and all, because they're not getting the way they want and all that. So they're leaving the country, and I'm like, that's not really going to do any good for the long run. You can leave the country, but that's not going to really do much of anything, And like I said, there's people who have their own opinion. Like, there are people I know that don't like, Donald Trump, but they're also not, like, whining and throwing fits because they didn't get what they wanted, like, basically it's kind of like a little kid at, basically at, a store or something. They see another kid got a candy bar, or they didn't get a candy bar, so they're throwing a fit about that. It's not because they were told by someone that the kid got the candy bar and they actually saw it, so they see the truth, but they don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I have people out here that are blinded by this stuff and don't, and I'm not saying again Trump is, Trump is the greatest guy either to be president, but what I'm saying is there are people that have been lied to on media, because I told you, like one side will attack the other side with political crap because they can't have their own opinion. I told you about the mask, and also, Kamala Harris, even COVID-19, you weren't even allowed to say that. Otherwise, they would demolish your videos or your channels. So, yeah, that just tells you how bad it's gotten. And the problem is when you control people like this, people are not stupid. They're not going to deal with it. And I'm sure a lot of people out there didn't even want Trump at all. But they're like me, they wanted to pick somebody that they knew back in the day was better than what it is now. And I see some people on there saying, I don't even really respond to it much. I mean, I'll say some stuff sometimes, but I've said that they basically they lied to you and all that, and they're hiding the other side of what people are saying. I mean, there were problems under Trump, and I don't think he did a very good job fixing the stuff he said he was going to do. But again, at the same time, like I said, with Donald Trump and all that, I will say prices were better. They were better and all that. They were not as expensive and all that, and I feel like, people need to look at it that way and all that, instead of some people just follow social media instead of actually observing the stuff themselves. And, I mean, social media, back in the day was a very good way to learn about some of the stuff, but anymore it's like they don't tell the truth and all that, and I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just like, it's very kind of hard to say. And like I said in the past, I don't care how people vote. What I care about is people trashing on people who vote, and that's kind of where we have a problem with another person we have Mark Hamill out there running his mouth. I love Luke Skywalker. I hate that Disney ruined his character and all that, and I'll continue to say that till the end of time, But with Mark Hamill as a person, he is very, very political, and he kind of runs his mouth on Twitter and all that, Twitter/X. You know what? I'm just calling it Twitter because that's always what I called it, and I think it should be Twitter. But he's on there running his mouth and all that, basically about politics and all that, and I just don't freaking care. At first I was thinking maybe it's just a fake account because there are people who have made But I've seen some, like, there was a channel called George Lucas. By the way, the videos actually sucked on there. I used to actually have it because I thought it was George Lucas, but once I thought it figured it was not George Lucas, I unsubscribed to it. I mean, I had it for a long time, because I've been forgetting to unsubscribe, but that person has not uploaded in a while, but I figured it was something like that, but no, it's actually it's really him and all that. It's really Mark Hamill and all that, and he's on there, he's shitting on, people's opinions and all that too. And remember, Gianna Carano got fired because she said a tweet and all that about Donald Trump. And what I've heard about that was, it was a tweet from like forever ago, and they basically Disney went on Twitter and freaking like unburied the tweet, or something like that. Somebody unburied the tweet, and then they fired her because of that, I mean, I don't know, it's just like, again, it's like freaking why would you do that, Because now it's getting you in a whole lot of hell of a trouble. You're getting yourself in fucking trouble here because of shit, you've been trying to start with people. And that's the thing though. And they still have fucking an actress working in here. I'm trying to remember her name. She's basically going to be playing Snow White in the live action movie, which is coming out next year. Which, by the way, I think is gonna be an absolute dumpster fire. I think it's gonna fail for a number of reasons. Number one, it's gonna have her playing it, which I mean, she's a black actress and all that, and nothing against people like that, But I mean, that's the thing, though. That's why we have, Tiana, which, by the way, Tiana is probably one of my favorite Disney princesses. I love Tiana. She's very relatable to a lot of us in the real world, where we work hard to earn, something. That was pretty cool. But the problem is her Snow White was supposed to be Snow White and all that, and you got her you got her on there shitting on also people's opinions and calling them trash and wishing them wishing them to suffer because they voted for Trump, which is basically a good chunk of the audience who voted for Trump, because Trump actually won by a landslide. He won he freaking whooped Kamala Harris's ass, and I didn't think that was going to happen. Either that or it was going to be very close, and she was going to win, but no, he actually won, and all that, and she's freaking shitting on people who voted for Kamala Harris. Voted for Trump, because, and all that, and that's making people not want to watch the movie to support you, and not to mention the whole dwarfism thing with the whole dwarf actors. They basically didn't cast them, and they did CGI on them and ruined the characters, which could have had actors in there. They basically freaking destroyed the damn film. They just destroyed it. They freaking ruined the film and all that, and also they've redid some stuff in the film too. So clearly, it already cost them a lot of money to make it originally as it is, but like Indiana Jones, it was the fifth movie, which, by the way, I think they're making a sixth one, which I don't know how, because that movie did awful. I mean, they can always make it better, but I don't know if they will. But that's what I've heard, at least. I don't know if that's true or not, if it got scrapped, but it sounds like we might be getting another movie there. This movie here was, it already got redone and all that too, and it's basically and some people are trying to say that it was always going to have this in here. No, it was not. It was actually going to be a different movie. I've seen the trailers. It didn't even look like Snow White at first. And I was thinking maybe it's a fan-made trailer, because people make fan-made stuff all the time. And if you watch, like, some older videos of some Mario Galaxy 3 fan-made trailers and all that, which, by the way, some of them look pretty cool. I even see one where they redid Sunshine, what was it, Pianta, not Pianta Village, I'm trying to remember the name of the island, Island Delfino, I think is what it was. Yeah, I think that's what it was. They made like a fan-made trailer of that, which is really cool. It's really cool. I think it was like probably a mod thing too. They probably got it from mod footage, but that just tells you, how cool it is. But this was actually real and they had to redo it, and because they already pissed off people, they might as well just freaking scrap it. But it's still coming out. I guess they want to release it so they can make some money back on it, or at least a little bit of money. But at this point, I'm like, you'd be better off probably just like scrapping it, because you're probably gonna have to pay to air it on like Disney Plus or theaters or wherever it's going, and I'm just like why the hell are they releasing this? Speaking of which, I will tell you the reason why I'm kind of bringing up that, because some people think that, because there are some people that do think that that's how the movie was. It was always going to have the dwarf actors in it, but no, it wasn't, because you can even tell that it looks very cheap and all that, like it was rushed in there. Actually, there was a YouTuber that I used to watch. I really don't like this YouTuber. He's kind of an asshole. He's kind of like, he doesn't go, I don't think, trashing on. He doesn't trash on like people like this gal did, which I forgot her name. Shoot, I really don't remember her name. But there's like so many just actors and all that have problems anymore. But what's the actor who's playing the Snow White and all? He's like on there, kind of like he was kind of like, even like people who was responding to him and all that were shitting on him. He was shitting on them, kind of getting all salty. Like, he wasn't like calling them names, but he was basically flat out saying, I think even in his videos, that people are kind of, like, I don't remember what he said, but I think it was like something about like being racist or something. I don't know. I don't remember like what it was. I probably shouldn't even say that, but he was getting salty with people. I will say that and all that. And my thing is though yes, I will go ahead and say this. I will say that people do need, like, I mean, they do remake stuff all the time. I mean, technically, Snow White was based off of a book and all that, what he was pointing out. But I don't like how salty he gets with people and all that, and the way he responds to crap. But with this movie, it's supposed to be a live-action adaptation of a cartoon character. It's a remake of the 2D one. It's supposed to be kind of fitting in there, and it just feels like you're like flipping people off and all that, and I kind of noticed that, like, even with, like, I feel like even with the Moana 2 movie, or the original Moana live-action movie, it's also coming out next year. Yeah, somehow it's coming out next year, even though it's, unlike the Snow White one, it's it's only been in productions for a little while. I guess technically that one was redid, like I said, but I don't know, but My thing is with this movie, this movie is going to have, this movie is going to have, like, the person who voiced, Moana and all that, and my thing is, he's actually Maui's actually a much bigger looking guy in the cartoon, so he's going to look way off, and I mean, I don't want the movie to look and play exactly like, the cartoon movie, because I'm not saying I like live-action movies, but for people who want to watch the live-action remakes, they need to add some scenes to make them look different and stand out compared to the 2D versions. My problem is they basically, a lot of times they'll either make them too much like it, or they'll go and make changes to it and make it worse, and that's what I'm afraid they're going to do, and even Maui is going to have, like, it's going to be The Rock, and he's And he's, like, I mean, he's a muscular guy, but he's gonna be still, he's not gonna look like a Maui, and you can say, well, again, it's not supposed to be like that always, but that's kind of the whole, like, race swapping, the live action characters to make them appeal. It feels like they're just appealing to audiences, and people are just fed up with it, And that's kind of what they did. They did the opposite with 20th Century Fox. Yeah, the opposite. They freaking, like, 20th Century Fox, I've said this before, but 20th Century Fox, aka Studios, it's studios now, but they basically, when Disney bought out, Fox, they basically made it where the other voice actors, who, like, people like Cleveland and the doctor, I forgot his name because I haven't really seen The Simpsons, but you got him and Homer's black friend and all that, Some people might say this might be a rip-off, like Cleveland might be a rip-off of him, I don't know, because, they make jokes about that all the time on The Simpsons, well, and Family Guy both, but Family Guy kind of makes fun of themselves with that too, but my thing is, though, is they basically had a problem with the voice actors not matching the actual characters, the actual characters they're playing, but then they go around the live action movies and do the opposite, which is even more noticeable. With the cartoons, at least, they change the voices up and all that. It's not just black actors. They do this with like Amy's dad. I forgot his name. They made him change his voice, so he's actually played by an actual Asian person now and all that. And I'm just like, I feel like that's just kind of an insult to the actors who play them. And I mean, I understand why some people might be upset, but they've been doing this forever too. I mean, there's actually a famous voice actor. I don't remember her name, but I really like her though. She's a great voice actor. She's been voicing characters forever, but she's voiced like characters like I think it's Susie. I think is the name of the Rugrats characters. She voices that, and then she voices like Valerie on Danny Phantom and all that, and those are examples. But she also, her first role, she actually voiced Inspector Gadget's daughter in the 80s cartoon. I think that was her. I think that was her first. I mean, that was when that came out, and I think that was when I don't remember when the cartoon came out, but I think that was his daughter. I can't be wrong. I can't remember, but that's my point. They've been doing this forever and all that, and nobody had a problem with it. But then when they do this, and I'm just like, I feel like, I mean, if you're gonna do this, then don't just randomly race swap the actors who voice the characters and all that, and just continue from scrap. It would be stupid, but it wouldn't be as insulting, especially when you're doing this with your live action remakes. And I have no problem doing it because, like I said, it's out of nowhere, just like. But I don't know. I just like this whole thing is just freaking stupid and all that. And like I said, the whole politic crap is just in your face, and people are just fed up with it. People are fed up with it. And I mean, I'm fine with people having their own opinion, but they don't need to be getting shitty on people. Like this one YouTuber, like I told you about, I think his name is Dave Dazzly, and all that. And even now, he's like he's still kind of like that. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I've tried to give him more of a chance, another chance. But honestly, I don't really care for the guy too much. He's not. I mean, he had some great content, but honestly, I don't really care for his stuff too much. But he's probably one of those people too that are stuck up and get money from, like, probably get free stuff from Disney and all, because there's those penny pushers, from Disney. I mean, there has been for a while, but he's probably one of them. Like, I think that's how he gets access to early content, so. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'm just like, I just hate people who are like that, because they also are not going to be entirely truthful with their reviews, and just, I don't know. But my thing is, though, is that there are people out there like that, and the fact is, too, that that again we have like an actual actress playing the live action Snow White and all that, and she doesn't look like Snow White and all that, and I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just like, it's just freaking stupid, you know, and all that, and but I'm kind of wanting to talk about another thing though that's happened. Yeah, I've talked about you know, actresses leaving like the United States and all that because of this, which I think is just stupid. I didn't want to say anything on that because I wasn't entirely sure, but a lot of people are talking about it anymore. But I could probably see that happening. But I also talked about the whole you know, the whole, you know, like live action, you know, like Snow White movie, and it's controversial with the actor who played Snow White. Now I kind of want to talk about Bob Iger himself. And Bob Iger, honestly, at this point, people are kind of starting to realize, I think, people are realizing he's basically kind of like, I don't know, he's kind of like, I look at him, he's kind of like Donald Trump. Well, not Donald Trump himself, but kind of like, you know, well, more so the politicians and all that, or like, I look more at him, he's kind of like, Kamala Harris in a way. He's got the personality of Kamala Harris, although I don't think he sounds as crazy as she does, but, well, to be fair, Donald Trump is crazy too, but more so, like, well, she was like laughing a bit more and all that. He's more just like, sounds like he's tired and all that. But my thing is with Bob Iger is he's kind of like her with Chapek. Basically, he's basically shitting on, you know, Chapek and all that for all the crap he's been doing and how he destroyed the company and all that, and making people believe that he's actually responsible, kind of like what, you know, Kamala Harris did with Trump and all that, and like I would say Joe Biden, but Joe Biden really didn't even know where the hell he was at. He kind of did the same thing, but he really didn't know where he was at, and she was doing it a lot more like, with Donald Trump, and in similar ways, you know, Bob Iger and Kamala Harris have not done shit to fix anything, you know, and to be fair, she didn't get elected, you know, as president like he did as CEO, but she was the vice president, and when we had Joe Biden, and Joe Biden was struggling very hard to actually, you know, he was struggling very hard to actually, you know, like, function, you know, I'm like, you know, and they didn't force him out of the office. They didn't do any of that, and she took over. They didn't do any of that stuff. Like, he should have been, like a lot of these people would, like go after Trump and try to, like, get him out of the office by, you know, like removing him and all that, but they tried so hard. But when it comes to Joe Biden, they didn't do shit. And I even pointed that out in the comments. I'm like some people like, well, more so on like Twitter, because people are kind of not talking about it much here. But I'm like, say what you want about Trump and all that, like they're trying to like say, you know, and all that. When they're trying to say that basically they're trying to get him out of the office, or he should have been out of the office. I'm like, Joe Biden should have been out too. Joe Biden, like, unlike Trump, Joe Biden was doing absolutely nothing to really fix anything. And like I said, like, if you watch his speeches and all that, he clearly had no idea. He had no idea what he was doing. It was just, like, he was just not there, and he was, like, falling asleep and all that, you could tell, and just, like, and I'm just like, that's how freaking Trump was. Which may be why him and his team were kind of supporting her, especially in ABC News. Yeah, ABC News, like, you know, mainstream media, ABC News, they were like, you know, like, not questioning Kamala Harris, but they were questioning Trump's, you know, responses and all that. Because as I stated, Kamala Harris, she was talking about how, like I had mentioned, you know, before, how she's, like, saying the economy and stuff is better and all that, and and saying that to his face and all that, and they didn't even question it. They didn't question anything she did, but they questioned freaking Trump. Like when he was talking about people eating dogs and cats and all that, and I'm like, yeah, it's freaking crazy and all that, but like you question that. Well, you basically what they said though, which is I felt like was a pretty shitty thing. They said like they basically called the they told him that they called on the state and all that, and actually talked about that. That never happened. Like he said it before, and I don't think he said that before. I think they were full of shit. But again, ABC News is owned by Disney, and freaking Disney is run by Bob Iger. And I said there's a bunch of people like that. They fucking really wanted Trump out of there. And I really don't understand why they're still against him, because he really didn't do much to fix much of anything either. I mean, yes, I will say the prices were down and crime was not as bad. But I will say this. But, he didn't, Donald Trump didn't go and, we're still dealing with insurance problems and all that. We still have, the whole, thing where you make too much money, you can't, afford things. My dad has had to get surgery multiple times, and the problem is he makes too much money, so he's forced to pay out of pocket. And yeah, $16 may seem like a lot of money, getting paid per hour. The problem is, though, is he's not making it very well. And that's the problem, and that's been going on forever. You make too much money, you can't and I mean, I get why the law was passed around Obama, because some people might use the money there, but Obama didn't fix it, Trump didn't fix it, and neither has Joe Biden. None of these people have fixed this stuff. And I don't think even Kamala Harris would have freaking done that, because, as I stated, prices were hiking and all that under her. Prices are actually, I think, already starting to go down. I was going to the store at the beginning of the week. Actually, I bought me a can of soda and all that, and before it was like $8 or $9, which I don't normally buy cans of soda because of how expensive it was, but now it's like $5. I've seen it go down to $5. It's gone down way much. It's not even close to as much as it was before. And I didn't think that was going to start happening until probably December or January, because you got to get the time for the president to get in there. Because the way it works is the president, doesn't go the new president doesn't go in office until January. But I guess they maybe have some control of some of the stuff before they actually go to the House, because we had the debate at the beginning of the month, so it's already passed. I think it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? 2 weeks ago when it happened. But I'm just that's the thing, the prices are going down and all that, and I'm just again, just like I said, I'm not saying, like I said, things are gonna go back to perfect. But they are better than they were and all that. And that's the problem with, like I said, ABC News and all that. And like I said, the whole social media thing, they're going to try to, they're trying their hardest to kind of hide it. And like I said, people are just fed up with it, which is probably why they voted for it. It's because they just want freaking shit to go back to the way it was. Even if it's not perfect, it's better than what we've been doing for the last 4 years. I mean, the presidents don't always have control of every single thing, but I don't know. I'm just I'm just saying, this is kind of why I think Bob Iger too he's just kind of Kamala Harris, the way he thinks and all that. He's blaming his previous, the previous CEO, she was blaming the previous president, because, at that time, Joe Biden was still the president. At least I think he was, because, like I said, he didn't act like he knew where he was at. I have a feeling that, he was not, he probably had dementia. I know they made, jokes about it before, but But I have a feeling he did have dementia, and that's not a good thing to have our leader of our country, the United States, have dementia. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. That's a bad thing, because then there can be troublesome and all that. My mom was like I'd rather have that than have Trump in there. But I'm like with Trump. I mean, I didn't tell her like how to vote or something. But this is like last year. I think I said that. But I was like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'd rather have him in here because at least things were better, the prices were down and all that. And with Joe Biden, that's very dangerous to have somebody like that in the office. And I guess if he dies, Kamala Harris would have taken over, but still, it's not very safe. But I don't know. I really don't know what to say about all that. But I'm just like, that just kind of just tells you again how I feel about with Bob Iger. But speaking of Bob Iger, I was gonna say too. Apparently now they're trying to find a CEO to replace Bob Iger, and I don't know if this is going to fix the company. The thing is though, it sounds like they're not gonna use Bob. It sounds like Bob Iger. I don't know if he's picking the CEO or who's picking it, because it's kind of going back and forth from the board seats to Bob Iger. I don't know who would pick that, but my problem is with Bob Iger picking the CEO. So we saw what happened to Chapek and all that, and I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna say this. Chapek was not there very long to really do any harm and all that, and Bob Iger, before he was even CEO, Bob Iger was freaking screwing the damn company up and kind of taking away what made it really good in the first place, slowly, a little at a time. He was the one who shut down hand-drawn animation. To be fair, the other companies did that too, but that was like a huge mistake, that he did. And then he removed Walt's name from the company, which I think is an insult to Walt Disney himself. They were supposed to honor him, and that was there forever. They had his name in the company forever, and then by 2011 they removed his name and pictures and just called it Disney. They basically rebranded it to a simple looking logo, and it felt insult to Walt and all that, and I hated that. He got rid of Playhouse Disney too, which was a pretty big thing. To be fair though, technically that's not as controversial. People don't like it, but it's not as an insult. But it still was a pretty cool thing, and he replaced it with Disney Junior and all that. He's been making stupid decisions, is my point. And the biggest thing was he kept buying shit up. He bought shit up, and all, as I mentioned before, he bought out Fox and all that, and that was a huge mistake. Buying Star Wars was a big mistake too, because they have no idea what the hell they're doing with the company. They'd be better off just selling fucking Lucasfilm in general to another studio. They could probably sell it to Paramount, or they could end up selling it to Paramount has Star Trek, but they also could sell it to I don't know, Netflix, or because Netflix is making content, or they can end up selling it to Sony. They could sell it to anybody else, but they just kind of hold on to it. And that's the same way with Fox. And actually, speaking of Fox, I had an article just pop up. Apparently Fox, Iger is kind of he was, at first, he keeps doing this too. This is exactly what Kamala Harris does too. What she was doing in the interviews and all that. She was going back and forth on shit. That's what fucking Bob Iger's doing right here. He's I know it's kind of funny comparing a CEO to a person running for president, but that's pretty much what that's pretty much what, I feel like what they're doing here. Like what he's doing. He's like, he was talking about wanting to sell shit off, and then he fucking immediately dropped it, like, after the earnings call there. And then he's talking about Fox, like, how he actually admitted it was a mistake, and now he's, like, saying he doesn't regret it or something. I guess you can say because maybe Avatar 2 made a lot of money and all that. But it still was a fucking stupid mistake, and I think even afterwards, he was still basically, saying that it was a mistake and all that. But, yeah, Avatar 2 did make a lot of money, but it cost a lot of money to make the damn film and all that, and you can't just rely on Avatar to fucking make you money. Well, I guess you can rely on Avatar and Deadpool, but I'm just like... Avatar and Deadpool, honestly, they'll make you a lot of money, but I think Avatar is not going to make you a lot of money back. And as I stated before, I still think Avatar 2, The Wave of Water, I still think the numbers were kind of pushed on it, because a lot of people I talked to, unlike Deadpool Wolverine, which I will admit, I think that made a lot of money. With Avatar 2, a lot of people I was hearing didn't even go see the movie. They were waiting for it to come on Disney+. So, yeah, but my thing is, though, that I don't think they're going to make their money back from Fox. And now they fucking owe, money to Comcast for Hulu. Apparently they're still, I made a video on that. Apparently they're still, having problems with buying it because Disney wants to pay less for it, which might be why it hasn't merged with Disney Plus yet. But I'm just like, at this point, it's basically at this point, Disney just needs to I think Disney just needs to sell some of this shit off. They're clearly in debt. They're in huge debt. And I will say their stock has gone up to over $100 now, which I figured it was going to, but still, I don't think it's going to matter because I think it was going up a bit because the movies were doing good this year. They were actually making good movies, so people were probably buying stock. But by next year, I think it's going to go back down again because next year we're having a problem with next year where a lot of the movies that are coming out don't look like they're gonna do very well. Like after Moana 2, we're gonna have the live action Lion King movie, the prequel, which by the way I feel like should have been better off being a fucking animation movie, like a 2D one, because people are wanting 2D animation back. People want it back. They could probably bring back that by making that 2D, and then down the road go to a live action movie. But after that, there's not a lot of great movies that look like that are coming out next year. We have a few live action remakes like Lilo and Stitch. It might do okay, but a lot of people are kind of just sick of the live action remakes at this point. And I mean it may do alright. I don't know, I do know the Snow White movie's probably gonna bomb. I mean, it's gonna bomb regardless because I feel like it probably would have to make about $2 billion at this point because they had to reshoot it and redo it a bunch. Because at first it already had to make $400 million, but now they have had to redo it a few times. I think it's gonna end up having to make way more to actually bring back even. So I think that one's gonna be a bomb. And then they have a lot of them coming out, but a lot of them don't look very like they're gonna make a bunch. They have a movie called Elio. I think that movie might actually do well. I don't know how well it'll do, but Elio might make some money. I think it's gonna be like Elemental, though. I think it's gonna slowly make its money back. 'Cause Elemental actually did make its money back eventually. It just took a long time to make it back. And people were very divided on that movie. I have a feeling Elio might be, the same. They also have a sequel coming out at the end of the year with Zootopia. Zootopia 2 is coming out at the end of the year. So they're making a Zootopia 2, which is coming out, because I actually looked up the movies that are coming out, and that's one of them coming out. That's probably going to do the best of that year, because people are going to be hyped for it. A lot of these other movies I don't think are going to do very well. And what's ironic is, if you look at the pattern here, you notice how this year the one of the last movies that's coming out under the Disney umbrella is going to be a live action remake. And the next year they're gonna have the same problem. Like, we're gonna have at the end of the movie they're gonna have a sequel, and then there's gonna be sequels nonstop. Because they're gonna have a ton of sequels. They're gonna have a Toy Story 5. I think the Avatar movie, the third one's gonna come out that year too. So it feels like they're gonna milk it to death, and then at that point in time, I feel like they're gonna start making too many of them. So it's gonna be like Ice Age. I have a feeling it's gonna start going downhill, and all that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could be good, because there are occasions. I will admit there are occasions where they can make sequels to a movie and make it new and fresh, or they can try to continue the story and make it good. Because I think they did that. They did that with Harry Potter, I think. Unlike Star Wars, I believe Harry Potter made several films. I don't know. I don't remember how well they did, but I do know they made a bunch of those. But my thing is, though, is most of the time, though, they make too many of them. They're just not as good anymore. And Ice Age is the same way. Ice Age is actually going to be they're going to be making an Ice Age 6 that year, too. Frozen 3 is actually not going to come out until 2027, so they actually don't even have that coming out for a long time, which I don't understand. I guess they were pushing it back. They were pushing back Frozen 3 because maybe they already had too many movies coming out, but then they have Ice Age 6 coming out that year. But to be fair, as I stated before, I think they already had an Ice Age 6 coming out. They already announced it, back in 2022, they already had it announced. It's just a lot of people aren't aware of that, but it's true. I even saw that when people were reviewing Buck Wild. And I don't know how well the movie is going to be, because right now we don't have any details on the movie. We do know that it's going to have the original voice actors coming back, it looks like, which is pretty cool. But at the same time, I'm just are a lot of people going to go see it because people are pissed off about Blue Sky shutting down? I don't think I'm going to go see it in the theaters. I'm probably going to wait till it comes on DVD or Blu-ray or streaming when I watch it, because I'm I don't want to support the freaking Disney company. They basically destroyed a childhood studio I had because they acquired freaking Fox, and they've shut down shit over the years, but that one was a big one. That was a big one, and they didn't have the best record of movies, and well-received movies, but they still made a lot of great movies, and now it feels like they're insulting people who, grew up with these movies and all that. And with Ice Age 6, I don't even know if it's going to do very well. That's the problem. I don't even know if I want to see it at all. I kind of want to see how it plays out, first. But we don't have any plots revealed for it or anything. We have something for Toy Story 5 though, and fans do not look very happy with it because it looks like they're gonna be making a bunch of Buzz Lightyear army stuff. And actually, I don't know how I feel about that, because I don't I don't want to say it too much right now, but the fact that people are already not looking forward to it, that just tells you a lot. And with Toy Story 4, I think they already had a lot of problems there. They already pushed a lot of the voice actors back, and the voice actors a lot of them passed away, so the characters got pushed in the background, which really, really hurt the film for me, because I wanted to hear Mr. Potato Head have some fancy little lines, because I think he's an asshole character, but he's very funny. He has probably some great lines, and I really like that. He was even pretty good in Toy Story 3, which probably was my least favorite of the 3 movies at the time. I still don't think it's bad. I think I grew to like it over time. I did a review on that, and then the Blue Sky Films and all that too. So, but then they made Toy Story 4. They pushed most of the characters to the side because of the voice actors passing away. Some of them actually weren't even passed away, and they just pushed them aside. The voice actor, Mr. Potato Head, was still alive at that time, but she got pushed aside. But she's dead now, though. But she was still alive then. They pushed her aside, and it just kind of feels like I'm kind of afraid they're gonna do that again, and that's just not gonna work. And speaking of which, they're making a sequel to Cars 4, which is I already knew about. I think I might have made a video about that. I don't know, but I'm like, why do you need to make a Cars 4? Like, why? The Cars in general, its franchise, honestly, it's the worst thing, Like, it's the absolute, worst, received franchise. I mean, I guess they could make some toys with the cars and all that, which, it's kind of like their own version of Hot Wheels, but I'm just like, at this point, you'd be better off just making, just more toys for it or something, instead of making a whole nother movie, because that's what's gonna cost, to make a movie. And maybe it could make its money back, too, but I don't feel like we need a 4th Cars movie, Plus, speaking of Cars, the second movie, they had to kill off Doc Hudson off of, because his voice actor passed away, too, which I really do hate when cartoons do that. I mean, I get they want to respect, the voice actors who voiced them before they passed, but I'm just at the same time, a lot of the voice actors that have voice characters also pass away when they're younger, too. So when Family Guy, killed off Carrie Fisher, I'm just Carrie Fisher, was still very young she wasn't, very, very young. She was, I think 60 when she died, I think. But they killed off her character off screen because she died in real life. I just hate Hollywood does that shit. I really do. I feel like it'd be better just to keep the characters alive, instead of just killing them off. And I mean, they probably want to respect the family members who, they have, but I don't know. I feel like they should just do it, a different way, Bring back have voice actors voice them, that sounded like them, Or they could use freaking AI, because they're probably going to use they're using AI in all with Star Wars anyway, so I'm just I don't know, Star Wars is also a big franchise with lots of, shows and movies and all that, but still, I'm just I just don't really get it, But yeah, but the thing is, though, is these movies are just gonna keep making more and more of these sequels and all that, and I think some of them might do well, but a lot of them I don't think are gonna do very well, and some of them might make a little bit of money back, but I think this year is the last one for a while where Disney's gonna be making a lot of money, especially next year. Next year, it's definitely gonna be like this. They don't have a lot of good movies that are coming out next year. They don't have a lot in general from 20th Century Studios, which is why I feel like they'd be better off just selling it off, because they have a lot of IPs from it, but a lot of these movies were already ran downhill, because before Mutter Rockham, or whatever his name was, I think I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but he was in charge of Fox before he sold it off to Disney, and already a lot of those movies were already milked to death. All the shows were The Simpsons, Family Guy, and Futurama were all kind of milked to death. Well, Futurama I still felt like was pretty good, but a lot of people were talking about how they revived it again and it's not very good, Yeah, and I don't know, I'm just I feel like at this point right now, they'd be better off just, again, selling it off and making some more money, but I don't think they're going to do that. And I gotta say, yeah, I feel like with if Bob Iger picks the CEO, we're definitely not getting anywhere with here. And then Because I feel like it's going to be like Chapek, where he tries to secretly have still power over the company, and he shouldn't, because Chapek and other people have come out from the company who have gotten kicked out of the company, and they said that stuff. They said that, and I mean, one person saying it, I don't know if I would believe, but a lot of people are saying that, and I can kind of see it because Bob Iger has too much power. He takes credit for shit he shouldn't have. And I'm just like, again, I feel like this guy just needs to fucking retire or get kicked out. I mean, heck, freaking Michael Eisner, they fucking ousted that guy because he was ruining the company. When Michael Eisner was the CEO, the company was still in way better shape than it is now. Disney, honestly, is in way worse shape than it's ever been. And yeah, like I said, their stock's going up, but that's because of some of the movies they've been made have been good, I will admit. But also, I'm sure there's probably some cheating going on, and they're hiding numbers and all that in the company again, because it's freaking Disney. Like, Disney does this all the time, even with their streaming. Their streaming, there's no way they have over 150 million subscribers. There is no way they have that much. I'm sorry, there's no way. Like, especially after that whole threat they did with Disney Plus. Yeah, like in that, for those couple, that guy whose wife died and all that. There's no way they have that much. And then their park attendance is going down and all that. Like, their movies are doing very well, which I'm sure is helping with their stock. But honestly, I don't think it's actually at 100. I would say it's probably more about 90 something. There's probably some people in the company that are actually buying the stock or like making it go up, because there is no way that it actually is like that. It's just, there's no way. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I kind of want to talk about. There's one more thing I might talk about, and that's ESPN, because I was talking about Hulu. ESPN is actually, apparently they're starting to do what they did with Hulu. They're starting to slowly put it on Disney Plus. I think they're going to probably eventually just shut the platform down and just have it on Disney Plus. ESPN, I'm actually fine with them owning that. Well, I don't know if I would say that. I don't watch sports, but I know Disney has a habit of ruining a lot of things, but unlike Hulu, which I think it was a complete waste of money, I feel like with ESPN, they can make some profit out of it. My thing is, though, with them shutting down the streaming platform, I have a feeling it's just going to end up, once they shut down ESPN, then it's going to be, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs who run the platform and all that, and I have a feeling that's going to kind of end up becoming more of a problem. And then with Hulu, yeah, Hulu is like Fox. They just need to just fucking sell the damn thing off. I think I said before that they paid, I believe it was $9 billion, $8 or $9 billion for Hulu? And they're still dealing with crap with Comcast. Comcast, to be fair, I feel like they're getting a little too greedy on how much they want Disney to pay for. But at the same time, I don't really feel bad, because freaking Disney has done so much shady shit to people and overpricing crap. I don't fucking care. They kind of deserve it. I'm not saying it's okay what Comcast is doing either, but you saw what they did to the parks. They're raising prices and all that. People can't afford. People are saying their attendance is down by a lot, but I don't go to Disney parks, so I don't really know what the attendance is normally supposed to be, like how it looks. But yeah, I'm just like, I feel like they'd be better off just selling the damn platform off. Sell it off. Sell it to, like I said before, Nintendo could buy it. You can have Nintendo buy it, you can have Microsoft buy it, because they can actually make their own, their own content on there. But that'd be really cool, They could just do that. But I don't know if they're going to. That's the thing. I'm actually not sure what's going to happen with Nintendo in the future, because Nintendo is actually teaming up. Nintendo's been teaming up with Universal, so I'm actually curious if Nintendo could end up just selling their stuff to Universal in the future if they wanted to. I don't know. I don't know. They've been doing a lot. They're making movies with Universal, which is part of Illumination. I don't know if Illumination's actually 100% owned by Universal, or if it's actually made by, other people, like, and they're just partnered up with them, like Disney and Pixar were back in the olden days before they were acquired. But I do know that they're doing this with like their parks too. They're putting all their stuff on there. But to be fair, I think Nickelodeon even has their own park in there too. So I don't know. I don't know what's. I mean, now this might sound like a funny thing to say, but I actually used to like. I mean, I would want to actually own Nintendo, but I used to kind of want to like. I actually used to kind of like own kind of Mario. I actually have a lot of great ideas for Mario games. I really do, original and some sequel stuff that I feel like could be kind of cool. But Nintendo, I don't think would probably do that. And if I were to buy Mario, I don't know what I would do with it. Because I do want to make my own animation stuff down the road too. But I don't know. I don't know about that though. Like I don't know if I'd buy Mario. I don't know. Like I mean, it would be nice to kind of be able to create my own ideas, but I feel like maybe it'd be better to just do it a different way too. I don't know. But Nintendo's also got some problems too now, so I really don't know what I would do with that. But because if I were to buy it, I would still have to be. It had to be under, Nintendo. I think it would be at least. I'm not sure. Like if Nintendo actually owns Mario, or if Mario is, if Mario is under Nintendo because like if it's like because like Katamari, like well actually more so I wouldn't say Katamari, I would say more so it's like Sonic is Sega, and Sega is not owned by Sony or Nintendo. Sega is its own company. They just don't make consoles anymore. They instead put their content on other stuff, which is kind of a great idea because it saves them money, but at the same time it kind of stinks because we can't have some more competitors with consoles. But I don't know. But I just wanted to kind of share that little story. But I'm probably going to go ahead and let this go. I told you guys this video is going to be long. There was a lot to say here, and I may have missed some stuff, I don't know, but this is just pretty interesting what Hollywood's going through with Donald Trump and all that, and then, like, after this, what it's just like, I mean, the thing is, though, if Kamala Harris won, they'd be still shitting on people who actually, support that. I mean, it's like that on both sides. I've seen people who are Trump supporters and actually shit on people on the other side too. It's just that's the thing with politics. It's just fucking stupid. And then them pushing this crap and trying to block people is just pissing people off. Like I said, people are leaving, YouTube and other platforms because they're fed up with this. But I don't know. I think this is gonna be very interesting. What's gonna happen here, but I don't know if Disney's gonna get better. I actually had a lot of hope back in the day when Chapek came in charge, but then like maybe he could fix, like maybe it won't go back to perfect, but maybe get better. But no, it was pretty much the same, and I feel like Chapek had his problems, but I feel like he also didn't have control because Iger was still kind of a part of the company and all that, But he's basically taking the credit from Chapek, because that's probably why we have these good movies too this year. Is because I will say they were like greenlighted under Chapek, because some of these movies take a couple years to make, so it's kind of like Ice Age 6. Technically, it was announced. There was announcement of it in 2022, but it actually didn't get it wasn't starting to get in development until this year. So I don't know, but I'm not saying, again, a lot of these movies are gonna, were under him and all that were very good either, and some of them were, for example, Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild, that was made under him, and him putting, some of the Pixar movies and all that, and not in the theaters, that was not a very great thing, but still, but still, some of these were, Lightyear and all that were greenlit under Iger, too, so I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and probably get going now. So tell me what you guys think about all of this. I have a feeling we're going to be dealing with a lot more chaos in the future with this kind of stuff, but I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and let things go from here. See you all later. Bye-bye.